All right, because this is not our final result, we are on a time limit. This is as far as I made it in the allotted time. I do not expect you to be done either, so this is a good example that we can just kind of work with this to learn, and then we'll definitely spend all the time we need to finish our final product. Right now, if you look at my layers, I have the top layers outlined, the middle one is my coloring view if I had to have nothing, and then the stock photo I have below it. For the rest of this project, we don't need the stock photo anymore, so I leave that permanently hidden. You can tell because it has a slash through its eyeball. I also don't need the outline for this upcoming part, so I have that, the slash through that eyeball as well. And with the coloring one, we do need it shown, but we don't want to work on it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on it again to bring up the layer settings, and I want to hit lock layer right here in the bottom left. The reason being is that if you make a huge mistake in this upcoming part, you can at least start over from your base coat of color. All right, I'm going to make a brand new layer by hitting the plus sign at the top of the layer menu. And then you'll see if it doesn't go right above your color, click and hold, move this brand new layer right above the original color. And we're going to be calling this one kind of like the detail or what have you, or blending perhaps is a better name. You're still just going to use just the paintbrush, like straight up, so no tool changes whatsoever. And I think it'll be best to explain this in this large yellow area over here. With the paintbrush, get a pretty large size for the area. I'm looking at like something like 40 for this one over here. The other thing we've been using is we've had the opacity this entire time at 100%. I'm now going to ask that you go somewhere in like the 20s for this. And you're going to click and hold to bring up the crosshair on the yellow color. Oh, again, opacity is this blue slider right over here on the left side. Bring that down to about 20%, give or take. All right, again, click and hold, grab the yellow. If you don't have this guy shown, I'm moving him around the screen right now. Let me zoom in on him. It's called a double puck. If you look at the bottom center of your screen, you're going to see a little dot. If you click on that, it'll expand this menu. There's one that looks like a true light traffic light. If you click that, well, mine got hidden because I had mine shown, but if you click it, it will bring it up. In my opinion, this is the best way to choose colors. The yellow color that I sampled from here appears in there. If I were to sample green, green would appear in there. I'm going to go back to this yellow. And then I'm going to click on the yellow inside the dot itself, and you'll see that this color wheel comes up. I want everybody right now to take a darker shade of this yellow. So I'm just going to move it down a smidge to about there. Don't have to be exact. Click off to close that out. And now that because we have that lower opacity, you'll see that if you draw around right now, you only get like a really small shade difference of yellow. If I draw again, I'm going to get an additional 20%, an additional 20, an additional 20, and eventually it adds up to 100%. So if I kind of just, every time I tap, I get an additional 20%. I can just go around here and willy-nilly tap in and bring in some darker values to the yellow fire. I'm even going to go over top of the other colors because that'll give you a really cool blend. I'm going to go back in here into the, where it's like that dark yellow now, and I'm going to go brighter. And again, I'm going to go around. Maybe I'll stick to the higher parts. We'll make lighter. Again, every time you tap is an additional 20%. So if you do a tap and like a long stroke, well, that stroke is only going to be 20%. So if you really want to apply a lot of that color, you have to continuously tap. I'm going to try to grab this color here and decrease my brush size. And we're going to try to do a really good blend job of where this can really fade in to the other colors. This takes time to learn. You can really start to actually blend these in really nicely by just kind of doing continuous taps, continuous strokes, sampling neighboring colors, going in, grabbing slightly darker versions of colors, applying them on top of each other. You can go into lighter ones, apply them as well. Don't be a perfectionist. Do not go like inside the lines. Go outside of the lines. And you can zoom in. You can decrease. I'm taking this brown. I'm trying to blend it into this orange here. I'll take the orange and I blend back into brown. That is a good way to get smooth blends where you take one color into the other one and vice versa. I'm going to actually try to get a lighter orange in here for some highlights. And then I will show you guys a before and after. So if I zoom out, that is what it looked like before, and that is what it looks like now. So you'll be applying this to all of your painting or whatever you could finish in the time, and we'll see what it looks like with the additive detail.